Good evening. The time is now 6 p.m., February 2nd, 2022. I'd like to call to order the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting for the City of Vacaville. We appreciate everyone who is participating in tonight's Park and Recreation teleconference meeting. The meeting will be conducted pursuant to Assembly Bill 361. Please bear with us as we attempt to use remote tools. Instructions to call into the meeting or participate from a computer are provided on the agenda on the city's website at www.cityofvacaville.com. Callers who wish to comment can press *9 to get into the speaking queue. Computer users can click the raise hand button within their Zoom controls to request to speak. Madam Secretary, good evening. Roll call, please.
Good evening. Commissioner Baruman?
Present.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
Here.
Commissioner Leonard? Here. Commissioner Thompson?
Present.
Commissioner Vandertulen?
Present.
Vice Chair Vasquez?
Here.
Chair McMahon?
Present. Thank you very much. Commissioner Thompson, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, sir?
Yes, I would be happy to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, sir. Agenda item 3, approval of the agenda. I understand that there is a correction to this evening's agenda. That correction would be item number 4, approval of the minutes. Approval of minutes for meeting of January 5th, 2021 should read January 5th, 2022. Are there any further corrections or changes, Madam Secretary, to this evening's agenda?
I have none, Chair.
Okay, I will accept a motion for the agenda as amended.
This is Vice Chair Vasquez. Motion to approve as amended.
Vasquez, and a second, please.
Commissioner Leonard, seconds.
Okay, we have Vasquez and Leonard. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Baruman? Commissioner Gutierrez?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Leonard?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandertulen?
Yes.
Vice Chair Vasquez?
Yes.
Chair McMahon?
Yes. Item 4, approval of the minutes. Approval of the minutes for the meeting of January 5th, 2022. I will now accept a motion.
This is Commissioner Thompson. I motion to approve.
Okay, we have Thompson, and a second, please.
This is Commissioner Vandertulen, second.
Thompson and Vandertulen, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Baruman?
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
Yes.
Commissioner Leonard?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandertulen?
Yes.
Vice Chair Vasquez?
Yes.
And Chair McMahon?
Yes. Moving on, item 5, communications. Madam Secretary, any written correspondence for this evening's meeting?
We have received none, Chair.
Thank you very much. Moving right along, item 6, presentations. There are none. We are at item 7, business from the floor. This is the time to address the commission with issues that are not on the agenda that are within the commission's subject matters jurisdiction. Maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. Madam Secretary, anyone from the public this evening?
We have none, Chair.
Very good. We will close public comment and business from the floor. Item number 8, reports of Park Manager David Jacobson.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. In addition to our regular routine maintenance that we do, we're basically finishing up preparations of all the sports complexes for the incoming league seasons. Ball field maintenance and snack bar, getting everything ready for the various leagues that start taking over this month. We should have that completed by the end of the week. With the exception of, we have a couple of the complexes, the ball field lighting. There's some bulbs and so forth that are out, and we're still waiting on material supplies. Our contractor that does those repairs for us every season, it's the supply chain struggles. They're not being able to get the materials in a timely manner. So hopefully sooner than later, we'll have those things fixed, but that would be the only thing outstanding. And then also I brought up last meeting, the Meadowlands Park lighting that we were doing the renovation from induction lights to LED, the same thing there. That has not been done yet because we're still waiting on materials for that project from suppliers. And that concludes my Public Works update. Thank you.
David, thank you very much. And I would kindly ask the commission if you have any park maintenance issues that you'd like to address now would be the appropriate time for that. So we'll open up for commissioner comments or questions for our parks manager, David Jacobson. Commissioner Leonard.
I think you may be aware, but I was out at Lagoon Valley on the Switchback Trail that comes down along the fence line behind the airstrip. And there's a large sinkhole up top on the mountain biking trail at the very top. And then there are a few down below, but the one that concerns me the most, a person could actually stand in. It's up to their shoulders. I just wanted to make sure that that was on the city's radar. Those sinkholes have gotten significantly bigger. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware.
Yeah, thank you very much. We've had the rain that we had, in December, we've had numerous sinkholes in a lot of the open space areas. So thank you for letting me know that. And just a reminder, any maintenance type things you find, you can report those at any time to Public Works Maintenance at cityofvacaville.com. And that goes right into the work order system so that it gets logged. And then those folks that take care of those areas and responsibilities will be aware of it right away. But I will make sure that I get that taken care of and get it started tomorrow. Thank you.
No problem. I'm happy to send the email as well, and I can send the GPS, drop a pin there if it's not already noted in your system.
Yeah, I don't know if we've heard about it, so that would be very helpful if you would email that tomorrow or when you get a chance with a pin. That's very helpful because that's a very, very large area to try to find a.
Yeah, it's a big trail.
Yeah,
no problem.
Great if you could do that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Any further commissioner comments or questions for David? David, I see no further questions. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
You too. Agenda item 9, business. We have no business to discuss this evening. We are now at agenda 10, committee reports, and we will start with the Play for All Committee. Commissioner Berumen.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's well. Well, Play for All Park is moving right along with this great weather that we've been having, and the contractors available. The actual contractors have installed all the play equipment, and it looks really awesome out there. And then they applied the rubberized black down for the cushion in case kids were falling, and then the black rubberized material goes on first, and now they're putting on the color of another layer of it on certain areas. They put down the runway for the plane, and they worked where the little teeter-totter things where you can rock and roll. Those have been colored in too. They've actually has gotten 19 benches sponsored and bought, so those are on order, which is great. And then just if you guys haven't had an opportunity to take a little tour with Tom Filippi, he'd be more than willing to give you guys a little tour of all the things that have been going on out there. And it's just the great weather that we've been having, and the materials are there that the contractors can work with, which is great. And then also the town buildings for the birthday parties and the picnics are going up. And then also, what they're asking for some help out there from the public, or people who would like to volunteer to help out there when time comes, just go to their website, www.playforallvacaville.org, and you can find all the things that you can actually familiarize yourself with everything that's going on out there. It's really looking fantastic. This park is going to be one of its kind when it's all completed. And that's pretty much all I have for the moment.
Commissioner Rubin, thank you so much. It is exciting to see that. You can see those bright, fun colors from a long distance away as you approach the park, and it fits really nice into that area, and it's going to be a great addition to Vacaville here, and we look forward to that opening here shortly.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We are now at 10D, Arts Advisory Committee, Vice Chair Vasquez.
Hey everyone. So unfortunately I wasn't able to attend the Arts Advisory Committee meeting. That was a couple weeks ago. But Tracy did send me the link and I got about halfway through the meeting, and it's been a busy month. So I'm hoping that Melody can give a quick update about the meeting. I do know on the agenda, which was probably the bulk of the meeting, the committee was being provided an overview of the current art and public places policy as part of their road stop number 2 of 3 that they're doing, similar to what we did through Parks and Rec for their new Arts Advisory Committee members. And I know that their next meeting is April 13th, but I'm hoping that Melody can give a more thorough update than what I'm able to provide. And I'm still hoping to listen to the meeting.
I'm happy to help.
Thank you, Melody.
Of course, of course. As you mentioned, it's road stop number 2, art and public places policy, and that included a subcommittee update. So there has been a subcommittee of the Arts Advisory Committee that has been reviewing the current policy and doing some research into other policies from other arts agencies who have vibrant art communities, and they have been compiling that information and working with staff to make some recommendations. So it was a pretty extensive presentation. There was definitely support and excitement over some of the recommendations, but it was also a bit overwhelming. And so the committee decided to kind of table discussions, take some time to just absorb all the information that they were presented. And we are going to be having a special meeting of the Arts Advisory Committee on February 23rd in the evening. And you'll get that exact information from me during the manager's update. So don't worry about breaking out your calendars just yet. Speaking of calendars, the other business item was the approval of the 2022 calendar of regularly scheduled meetings. As Vice Chair Vasquez mentioned, the next regularly scheduled meeting will be April 13th. And then we had some committee reports. Committee member Robinson shared out about the Creek Walk band selection committee process, and committee member Fox reported about the Vacaville Arts and Cultural Alliance and their last meeting on November 3rd, which was a wrap up of the Vacaville Arts Week, and discussed some outcomes of those events, and asked if I could present or she could share. I will be presenting about the art and public places policy to that group on their next meeting, which is next week on February 16th. I gave a brief report of the current art fund balances and an update on the Rocky Hill Trail Public Art Project. And then there were some committee member appointments to the VPAT Season of Shows Committee, and that was Chair Converse who volunteered for that, and then committee member Fox volunteered to serve on a public art maintenance committee. And we are looking for 2 members to serve on that committee, so another one will hopefully be appointed at a later date. And that is all.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair and Melody. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for the report. 10C Creek Walk Selection Committee, Commissioners Gutierrez and Vandertulen.
So we were able, a couple weeks back, we're able to sit and listen to several different submissions for the Creek Walk selection. It actually was amazing to go through the process, and we were able to listen to some familiar bands and also some brand new bands, and kind of give our feedback, listen to the criteria, what they were looking for, and provide some of our feedback. We were there with Kristen Milligan, and we were able to submit our thoughts and our feedback, and really have just some really great discussion around some of the band submissions as well. I did see that it was posted that it looks like there will be some opportunity for some of the bands to perhaps be selected as opening acts, and that was great because that was part of the discussion. There were some bands that were submitted that were lesser known and maybe hadn't had an opportunity to really play to larger crowds, and we did make some of those comments that it would be great if some of them had opportunities to maybe be an opening act or have some original songs being played kind of as the prelude to a larger band. So it looked like that opportunity might be happening just from what I saw on social media. But I'm not sure where we left off. I don't know if Kristen is on the call, and I don't want to speak for Commissioner Vander Tulen to his experience, so I will kind of pass the mic to him.
I don't have much to add to that. It was an interesting evening. As was mentioned, there were familiar bands and bands not so familiar. I think some went to the top of the list and some didn't quite get there, but it was an interesting process. I may be incorrect in this number, but for some reason I recall 50 bands and we had a 20-second snippet, make our decisions pretty quickly on the consistent tally sheet that each of us was given, and then handed that into Kristen for final tally. So it was a very interesting evening. I'm glad I participated in that because I didn't realize there were that many bands out there or groups that participate in these type of events all throughout Northern California and possibly beyond. So quite the creative group of individuals that form these bands. And it was very interesting to watch. So I really enjoyed that evening, and I'll be curious to see who the people will be participating in Creek Walk. That's what I've got.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Gutierrez and Commissioner Vander Tulen. We look forward to our Creek Walk series here, which will be starting here in a few months. And it's always an exciting time in Vacaville. So thank you so much for your work on that committee. We appreciate it. Moving on, we are now at agenda item 11, reports of park planner Nemo Gonzalez. And we have 4 different areas that our parks planner will be discussing this evening. What I'd like to do is, Nemo, if you could give your presentation, and we will then open it up for each category. And then we will open it up for commissioner comments as well as public comment prior to moving on to the next item. So, sir, if you would, you are up for 11A.
Thank you, Chair McMahon. Evening, commissioners and all. Just to facilitate this process, I'm going to try and bookend each of these updates with the next step, and that'll be sort of a cue that I'm done with this particular park update. So I've just got a few community outreach efforts to report on, and the first one being Lagoon Valley Dog Park community meeting. There was 2 public outreach meetings, January 8th and January 29th. With the meeting, these 2 meetings were held at the park site, and the meeting on the 29th was also available via Zoom. These were facilitated by park planner Hugh Hesterman. Both meetings were attended by roughly 10 people. Some participants came and went during the meeting. Hugh shared the proposed plan and received the following questions and suggestions from the audience. There was a general sort of consensus among the folks who attended that the bifurcation was well received. So that specifically is the separation of the large dog area versus a small dog area. Shade shelters are highly desired. An alternative would add an accessible path from the entrance to the existing trees for some summer shade. There was some concern that was expressed for how long and when the park would be closed for construction. Park planner Hesterman did note that construction would be fairly quick and indicated that we do have an additional dog park available at Centennial. Requests that some boulders and other interesting elements be added. There was a question about volunteer projects to add agility equipment. Participants were fine with using select natural wood chips as opposed to expensive playground fiber. They particularly liked the fact that the natural wood chips would be available quickly. There was a request for a hose bib with an auto shutoff valve, like the ones at Centennial. And one person suggested that the secondary entrance be moved to the far corner of the largest dog area. So the next step for this particular park is for the concept to come to the commissioners at the March meeting.
Very good. Thank you, sir, for that. I will now open it up for commissioner comments for Lagoon Valley Dog Park. Commissioner Vandertulen.
Question. I'm involved in several dog parks around Northern California, and the question comes up about ADA accessibility. So I'm going to presume that both the large dog park and the small dog park have ADA accessibility, particularly where there are benches for seating. I just want to get a clarification. That's part of the design concept for the dog park.
Yeah, that isn't bulleted as one of the things that came up in the community outreach meeting. And I don't know that off the top of my head, but it'll be something that I can communicate to Park Planner Hesterman and relay that to you.
Okay, fantastic. That's my question. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much for that, sir. Great question. Any other commissioner comments or questions regarding Lagoon Valley Dog Park from the commission? I see no further commissioner hands. Madam Secretary, anyone from the public would like to speak on 11A Lagoon Valley Dog Park?
I have none, Chair.
Thank you very much. We will move on to 11B. Nemo.
Thank you. Similarly, this has got a lot of bullet points, so I'm going to bookend this by stating next steps, which is again the cue just that I'm done with this particular park update. A public meeting was held via Zoom at 7 p.m. on Monday, January 31st and facilitated by Park Planner Hesterman. Only a handful of people attended. He presented the proposed improvements and explained that these are the same elements that were originally included in the master plan as chosen by the residents, but had to be eliminated from the first phase of construction due to insufficient budget. The improvements include a basketball court, a set of 3 satellite picnic pads, seating benches, and additional trees. There were 3 additional quote unquote fixes that will be included, and that is relocated push valve for the sand water play, small retaining wall to resolve some minor erosion issues, and a temporary water connection to the city water. Hugh noted that an off-leash dog area will be included in North Village development. That was something that had originally been an ask for this particular park, but it's not going to be incorporated, but there will be a dog park coming in the next phase of development. Hugh also explained the funding source, which is Measure M Improvement Project, and provided an estimate for when the work would be under construction. Some of the questions that came up during the meeting included, will the dog park, or I apologize, will the park be available or open during construction? And the answer to that is yes. There will be select areas that will be closed, but generally the park will be open for use. Second question was whether the additional picnic areas would have shade. And the answer to that is no, with the exception of some strategically placed trees. And a third and final question was, will there be lighting for the basketball court? And because this is classified as a neighborhood park, the park is intended to be closed half hour after sunset, and so no lighting will be provided to the basketball court. The next step for this park is also for it to come to the commission at the March meeting.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll open it now for commissioner comments, questions on 11B, Corderos Park Community Meeting. Commissioner Thompson.
Excuse me, not a question. I was able to attend the Corderos Park community meeting via Zoom that Park Planner Hesterman presented. And I just wanted to comment that I thought he did a great job explaining and delineating the phase 1 versus phase 2. And that seemed to address some of the community concerns without any additional recourse or explanation. He did an outstanding job at the community meeting. So just want to throw that comment out there.
Thank you very much, sir. Any further commissioner comments or questions? Nemo, you discussed that there was an estimate date for the project to start. What is that date timeframe?
The date isn't listed in the bullet points that Park Planner Hesterman provided. I did listen into that meeting myself as well. And I think the information that he relayed was that the design process would take a few months and that it would be handed over to Public Works, but there was a possibility that construction would start late summer or fall of this year.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure.
We'll go ahead and open it up for public comment for Corderos Park. Madam Secretary, any hands raised from the public?
I have none, Chair.
Thank you very much. We'll close public comment. Moving on to 11C, Meadowlands Park Community Meeting.
Sure, Meadowlands Park, there was a public outreach meeting that was held virtually on January the 19th. That was facilitated by myself and our design consultant, WDS. Once again, the concept plan was presented and it included the scope as it's identified in the Parks and Rec Master Plan and includes a completion of a walking loop, the addition of shade in the form of trees and some additional benches. Some of the community feedback included securing and adding trash toters, making sure that they're distributed throughout the park evenly, improving grading issues, specifically close to the proposed loop, coordinating the loop entrance with the bike lane, dog leash signage, and the introduction of more accessible and adaptive play equipment. But generally, the concept was well received, and we're taking all of this community feedback into consideration in our final concept. If during the construction documentation phase we have any funds left, we anticipate that we could identify a few more minor improvements, such as adding an additional lift of decomposed granite to repair some of the existing DG that's out there now, and possibly even painting the existing shade structure that's out there. So the concept plan is nearly done. And the next steps for this park is that the concept will be presented to the commission in the March meeting as well.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll open it for commissioner comments or questions regarding Meadowlands Park. I see no hands for the commission. Madam Secretary, anyone from the public would like to speak on Meadowlands Park?
No hands, Chair.
Thank you very much. We'll close public comment. And we are now at 11D, upcoming community meetings.
Sure, we've got two upcoming community meetings. The first is Pheasant Country. That's on the 9th, and it'll be via Zoom. The second will be Sierra Vista. That'll be February the 16th and also via Zoom. I do want to just provide a quick note on all of these virtual meetings that we're holding. We are recording them and they will be posted on the city website. And I believe that Tracy can help us sort of navigate now so that we are able to find those meetings once they're posted, and they should be posted in the next several days, the ones that have already been conducted and recorded. Tracy, can you pull that up?
Yes. So I just wanted to show everyone that this is the City of Vacaville website. There's two ways that we can do this. So the first way, that one of the easier ways, is down below under meetings and events, if you just go ahead and go to one of our community meetings, this is for Pheasant Country, go ahead and click on it. This will open up this window where the Zoom link will be available, and also the page that we created for the event itself. So if you click here, this will pop up. And of course, this hasn't happened yet, but this is where we would put the recordings. Another way that we can access this is if you just go again to the City of Vacaville website under government, you can find Parks and Recreation. Under Parks and Fields, this is where all the event pages are. For Magnolia Park, I believe this is the one that we have. Oh no, I'm sorry, Meadowlands. The meeting is right here for the recording. So those are the two ways that you can access the recordings. For the Magnolia Park and the other community meetings that have happened, we're working on posting them. The files are just too large that we can't email each other for the person that needs to post it on. So we're working on that.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you so much. Nemo, thank you very much. And Tracy, thank you so much for the tutorial on that. That is very helpful. I'll go ahead and open up for commissioner comments or questions regarding 11D, the upcoming community meetings. Commissioner Leonard.
Thank you, Chair. I know we've done this in the past. I'm just checking in for the parks that are located near schools like Sierra Vista. Are we working with the communication departments at the school district or the school to engage parents in those conversations? Is that something we're still doing?
I can't speak to Sierra Vista because I am not personally managing that project. I can speak to Meadowlands, which is abutting a school. I have reached out to the facilities folks at the district for that particular school. I also extended an invite to the principal, but I never heard back from her. So my conversations have been limited to the district representative that is in charge of facilities to discuss some of the improvements and access to conduct surveying, but not necessarily to discuss the improvements themselves, just to make them aware that we are pursuing some projects.
Chair McMahon.
Go ahead.
This is Director Walker, and Commissioner Leonard, with regard to Sierra Vista, we have communicated and had some outreach and discussion with the school staff there at Sierra Vista. That was part of the process when we had anticipated pursuing a Prop 68 grant for this particular park, and that was part of the criteria. And so that outreach has already occurred, but we can certainly we sent postcards out. I think it was half-mile radius of all of these park sites, notifying the residents of the meetings. And so definitely for Sierra Vista, we can reconnect with the school.
Great, thank you. I know your outreach has been pretty extensive. In the past, I know the principal or the communications department has put out in their newsletters to parents, and maybe that would help with engagement as well. But it sounds like you guys have already got that covered. So thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Commissioner Gutierrez.
I just wanted to offer, if you needed any additional help, I belong to the PTC at Sierra Vista. So if you need any help with communications there, I certainly can help with that.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Commissioner Leonard, did you have a further comment or question, ma'am?
No, I'm sorry, Chair. I forgot to lower my hand.
Thank you, ma'am. Any further commissioner comments?
Chairman Pan, this is Director Walker again. I just want to remind the commission that with these meetings, we cannot have quorum. So if you're interested in attending, please RSVP to Tracy.
Thank you very much, Director Walker. Yes, and again, thank you to staff. It's apparent that the community outreach is you know, if you look at these meetings, they're happening at least once a week or once every other week, and it's noteworthy, and we really appreciate the community engagement. So thank you so much, staff. Okay, we'll close commissioner comments, questions, and Madam Secretary, anyone from the public would like to comment on 11D?
We have none, Chair.
Thank you so much. We'll close public comment. Nemo, thank you very much for your report, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Agenda item 12, reports of Recreation Manager Melody Ocampo.
Good evening again, commissioners. Tracy, if you could pull up our first slide here. Well, as she's working on it, it's an easy update. It is the scholarship update, and we have awarded $50,000 to date. We are going to be pushing this with some of our Recreation Expo promotions coming soon. So we do expect to go through the $100,000 that has been allocated by the City Council for these scholarships. So very exciting that these funds continue to be used. Next slide. As I previously mentioned, we do have a special meeting of the Arts Advisory Committee. It's specifically going to be addressing the Art in Public Places policy, and that is coming up on Wednesday, February 23rd at 5:30 p.m. It wasn't on your original calendar that you see here because the date had not been set yet. We were still coordinating schedules of all the committee members, but now it is set, and there is the update. So if you are able to attend, please add it to your calendar. And as Director Walker mentioned, I am sure we have to consider quorum, and so first come, first serve, I'm assuming, and we'll let Director Walker correct me if I'm wrong. Next slide. Go ahead, Director. All right.
Melody, I think you were addressing specifically that special meeting.
Correct.
We would do a regular posting for that meeting.
Oh, so it would be all right for our commissioners to attend?
Yes.
And not have to worry about quorum? Great news. Okay.
And if I'm speaking out of turn, I'll defer to the city attorney, Andrea Borba. But I think for a special meeting like that, we would just do a routine posting.
Wonderful. All righty. Well, I'll move on, and our city attorney can jump in if needed. All right. So little update on the Rocky Hill Trail Public Art Project. As you can see from the images here, it has been well underway. You see students working on the artwork. They have done an amazing job. It is really coming together. We had a little bit of a setback because of the just delays in construction work and COVID contributing to that. And we all know about the latest Omicron surge. So we still are, while the artwork is ready to go at this point, I didn't want to show any final product photos because we are planning to have an unveiling, but that is just waiting on the footings to be installed at the location, and then we can get this wonderful new artwork up in the community. Next slide. Recreation Expo. I mentioned this briefly along with the scholarship. This is our big registration event gearing up for the summer camp season. We are offering 10% off all our summer camps at this expo happening on March 5th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then the discount will continue online that same day starting at 5 p.m. and ending the following Monday at 7 a.m. For more information, folks can visit cityofvacaville.com/expo. And again, we are highly encouraging folks who are eligible for the scholarship to please get in your applications early. We would love to have some funds on your account so that you can have them ready to take advantage of and make that money go a little bit further with that 10% discount. So please come out, take advantage, get a scholarship. We definitely want to see folks using these programs and utilizing that discount. So that will take place at Ulatis, and there will be many Park and Rec staff as well as our wonderful instructors on site, some demonstrations, prizes, drawings, some light snacks. So it's a great morning. We hope to see everyone there. Next slide. And exactly what you need to prepare for that event is our recently published spring events guide with our summer camp insert. So this is live online as of yesterday, and we'll be hitting households any day now. So you can expect to probably see this by the end of the week. And just take a look, see what's coming up for spring and get signed up, and then start planning your summer. It's never too early to plan, and make sure that those kiddos have a spot to enjoy those hot summer months. That is it for me. Thank you all very much.
Well, Melody, thank you so much. A lot of exciting stuff happening. So thank you for that. The artwork looks incredible, and I look forward to seeing that here in the near future. I'll open up to commissioner comments for Melody. City Attorney Andrea Borba.
I just wanted to quickly respond to that inquiry. I think it would be appropriate for commissioners to let the secretary know if they intend to attend the Arts Advisory Committee meetings, because it's noticed as a meeting of that committee, not a meeting of the Parks and Rec Commission.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that clarification. Okay, we'll go ahead and open up for commissioner comments. Commissioner Leonard.
Thank you, Chair. It is so exciting to see the art for the Rocky Hill Trail project. The glimpses of that, it's so vibrant, and I just kudos to staff for being so, to making extensive efforts to engage the community and really respond to the community feedback. You're not just going through the motions, you're taking in that community feedback, and it's changing the project, and then you're engaging students and members of that community. And so it's really exciting to see that to come to fruition. It's important work, and it was a lot of work. And so kudos to the whole department. That's really exciting for our city.
Absolutely agree, Commissioner Leonard. It is exciting, and I know we all look forward to seeing that artwork there at the Rocky Trail. So thank you so much. Vice Chair Vasquez.
Yeah, I wanted to say the same thing. Thank you for the little teaser, Melody, of the artwork. It's really exciting to see that the project finally coming to fruition. I know you mentioned construction delays due to COVID, and I know you probably can't answer this, but just wondering if you have like a general anticipated timeline of like when things will start to be put into place and a potential I guess opening of or exhibit of the artwork.
I'm hesitant to say, but we have been given a very rough timeline of 6 weeks. But with construction, it's, everyone's told me don't bank on that. So, once we have a date, we will get one, and we will share that, and we will obviously plan the unveiling. And literally once those footings are in place, and I'm not sure exactly what the cure time is, but I can look into that. And, we will be sending notifications and making sure that there is a nice promotion of the unveiling so that people can really come out and enjoy that.
Okay, great. Thank you. I know it's hard to commit. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair. Commissioner Berumen.
Ladies beat me to the punch on everything. One question for Melody. Did I miss it regarding the scholarships? The money continues until it's all used up, or is there an expiration date on it?
It is tied to the fiscal year. So
Okay.
It will go back to the general fund if it is not used by June 30th. And that's another reason why we're encouraging families. And we have been telling those who already have an allocation that, we know they're approved, and we have been, if the need is warranted, then we are providing additional funds to those families so that they can continue to use them for things that, add up and get quite costly, but are very necessary, such as our before and after school programs like TGIF. That is an area where some of those families have received some additional allocations so that they can continue to get those much needed childcare services.
Thank you, Melody.
Of course.
Thank you very much, sir. Commissioner Gutierrez.
Echo everything that everyone said. I kind of gasped when I saw that sneak peek of the artwork. That is so exciting, so exciting. So I will be holding my breath and waiting to hear that message of the unveiling. I will be like, the Mervyn's commercial. I'm dating myself, but the open, because I'm excited to see that. And to piggyback on what Commissioner Berumen said about the scholarship, I had a conversation about something totally separate, but it made me think about the scholarship fund. I was speaking with the director of student attendance and welfare because we were talking about a separate program. Romero Barone. Don't know if you guys have been in touch with him, but he totally focuses on just working with families and trying to keep families with their children engaged in programs, and those families unfortunately a lot of times do not have the funds to have children participate in extracurricular activities. I know he works a lot with Anna Eaton at the Boys and Girls Club, and he is trying to find any type of activities to keep these children engaged and excited about school and extracurricular activities. And I asked him about the scholarship, and he wasn't aware. And this was just a very recent conversation that we had. So don't know if anyone had a chance to connect with Romero Barone. He's the director of student attendance and welfare at the Vacaville Unified School District, but I think he could be a great ally to connect with families that can definitely utilize the scholarship. And I can send his information over as well.
No, that's a wonderful suggestion. I've sent him this information
Okay.
about the Expo and the scholarship. It may have been after you spoke. And I think that, we do work with him. And so I don't know where connections got lost. I thought we had shared that early in the school year as well, but he most definitely has it now, and we'll pound it into him for sure.
Okay. It can't hurt to hear it over and over again.
Absolutely.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Just forget about it. Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Gutierrez. A great comment, and what a great partnership between the school district and the city to get the youth out there and those scholarships used. So thank you so much, ma'am. Any further commissioner comments for Melody or questions? Commissioner Gutierrez, did you have a further comment, ma'am?
No, I'm sorry. I'm lowering my hand now.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you so much, Melody. A lot of exciting stuff there. We look forward to this spring and all the programs and that art project. Thank you, ma'am. Item 13, reports of Director Carrie Walker.
Thank you, Chair McMahon. Well, I'm pleased to see that we have a full commission back and that you're all appear to be recovered. Unfortunately, one of the reasons we had such a short agenda tonight is because we're still facing challenges with some ill staff. And so, the agenda was a little short tonight, but as you've heard, you're getting off the hook easily tonight because March is going to be a very, very full agenda. We're very excited about bringing these projects to the commission. And we anticipate probably as full of an agenda come April as well. The only thing that I really wanted to share with the commission was to remind you all that this Friday, February 4th, is the deadline to submit your applications. And with that, I will turn it back over to you, Chair. Thank you very much, everyone. And I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone should have any questions.
Thank you, Director Walker. Any questions for Director Walker from the commission? Ma'am, I see no hands. Thank you so much, Director Walker.
Thank you.
All right, we are now at item 14, reports of the commission. And we'll start with Commissioner Berumen.
I just want to say I'm just happy to be back too, because I was out. I was one of those sickies, but I'm glad to see everyone's doing well. And I'm really excited about everything that's going on in our community, and the staff is doing an amazing job. I've looked at that magazine, the events, and Melody, there's so many things on there. And I know with all this sickness, it's hard to manage all of those things that are going on. But great job. Continue the great work, and good night.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Berumen, and we're glad you're back and feeling well. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Gutierrez.
Hi, yes, it's good to see that people are back on the mend. My household was hit earlier this month. I escaped, but unfortunately, I had some other members of my household who weren't so fortunate. But yeah, we are coming back, and it sounds like everyone else is too. So just want to report we had a really nice Martin Luther King event on the 17th of this month, and looking forward to having a Black History Month event at Andrews Park on the 19th of this month. So it is open to the community. Hopefully we will see you there, and yeah, look forward to everyone getting healthy, and guess I will prepare myself for that full agenda coming up in March. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and thank you for all the work you do in our community. You're absolutely an asset. Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Leonard.
Thank you, Chair. We've talked about all the programs, the hundreds of programs that you do, especially for youth and senior communities that build community, that give a sense of neighborly feel to the city of Vacaville, which is so important. And I think another thing that's really unique is the rare landscape, the open spaces, the hills. It's literally in our city logo. And to be able to drive 2 minutes outside of town and get to Lagoon Valley Park or some of our open spaces and see deer and wild turkey and native plants and birds of all kinds, I think is really unique to Vacaville. It gives us a feel, it anchors us, and it separates us from other cities. So we aren't in that urban sprawl that you see in Sacramento area. And so I just applaud the city's effort to really embrace those open spaces, the learning opportunities, how we're starting to incorporate native and drought-resistant plants into our parks, whether people are outdoorsmen and hunters, whether they're hikers or they just like to get outside and get some sun with the kids or push a stroller. It's a really incredible, unique asset to the city. So I'm excited to see the partnerships that the Parks and Rec Department has gotten into with other agencies and the work around that. And I hope to put momentum behind that too. It's a nice complement to all the activities that you do for the residents here and the facilities that we provide, but incorporating those open spaces is another important piece. So kudos, and I hope we keep on going down that path.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Commissioner Leonard, and thank you for being instrumental in those partnerships. You've done a great job and we appreciate it. And this is absolutely one of my most favorite times of year when we look out at those hills and they're so green and just beautiful. And I couldn't agree more. Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Thompson.
Yes, I am happy to be healthy again and look forward to seeing other commissioners and staff back to 100% as well in the very near future. I'm excited about all the upcoming programs and Recreation Expo and all those other events as we start into early spring. So thank you for everyone for all you do, staff and other commissioners.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Thompson, and I'm glad you're feeling well, sir. Thank you. Commissioner Vander Tulen.
Thank you, Chair. I think I'm going to echo the sentiments of most everyone here on the call. 2020 and 2021, I think we want to put that behind us. I'm looking forward to a very positive 2022 as everybody regains their health. And as we look forward to some of the activities that the community has available and the staff that's putting that together. I mean, I'm still a newbie here. But I must say in my short time on the Parks Commission, I have been overly impressed with city staff and how they communicate, how they put information out to the community and how they interact. And I know for them, 2020 and 21 was really challenging, but yet they persevered through that. And 2022, I feel pretty optimistic about. And I'm excited to be on the Park Commission to help utilize some of my experience and continue the city in a forward direction with their open space. Because the comment made earlier about, Vacaville has the hills. It does separate us from the urban sprawl that we see. And I think it's a unique community. Without getting too much into it, my parents used to visit friends here in English Hills in the 1970s. And I was never very complimentary about that. And I said, I don't understand why they would live in Vacaville. Well, here I am, lived here for 20 years. I can't think of any place else I would be happy to live. And I'm really have to be involved in the community. My children are products of the Vacaville school system. And anyway, not continuing further. Looking forward to a really positive 2022 with everyone. So those are my comments for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, we're glad you're here in Vacaville, and I couldn't agree more. Our staff does an amazing job. They're committed and dedicated to this community, and it's and the people of the community, and we're fortunate to have them. Thank you, sir. Vice Chair Vasquez.
Hi, everyone. Sounds like most of our households were hit with Omicron, same as mine. So yeah, we're looking forward to spring season and sports restarting with softball and baseball. I was able to attend the MLK event on Monday, January 17th. It was a great celebration of community, unity, and peace, and just want to say a big thanks to Commissioner Gutierrez for her community work and putting that together. And that was the second annual, so I look forward to all the future MLK annual events in our city. I did also listen to the diversity, equity, inclusion session that City Council held, I think it was last week. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, I would encourage you all to listen to it. I think it is a great first step in our city council and city staff in acknowledging diversity, equity, inclusion, and making strides towards understanding, compassion, empathy, and acknowledgement of issues of equity in the city of Vacaville. I think that, you know, all of the council members and the mayor shared their why as to why they serve. And I think that that is really important for us to hear and know about their experiences in the city and why they're choosing to serve. So I think if you have like 2.5 hours, I would definitely just listen in to that session because it's pretty powerful and pretty impactful to hear both not only the city council members, but also the city manager, because I think that's an important first step also in how it trickles down into city staff when it's coming from the top and the leadership. So just really proud of the steps that the council's taking. I'm also looking forward to attending the second annual Black History Month event on at Andrews Park later this month, and just hope if you do have a chance to go, just encourage folks to go and just acknowledging that here we are in 2022 with you know, 2 events acknowledging and celebrating Black people in the city of Vacaville, and that we're only on our second annual event. So we have lots of work to do in areas of equity and inclusion, and I'm just looking forward to what the future may bring. So I too am looking forward to a more positive 2022 and hope everyone has a really great night. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair. We're happy you're here and feeling better. And I would agree, there is still lots of work to do, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would just like to, again, say thank you to all of my fellow commissioners. You know, I know that this takes a certain amount of time and dedication and commitment, and you guys are all great at what you do, and I appreciate it very much. And again, to all the staff, I can't say it enough. You guys do a great job, and it's much appreciated. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you so much, staff. With that said, I'd like to adjourn this meeting until our regular meeting of Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. Good night, Vacaville.